Welcome back to Ahsoka, everybody, or what I like to call She Wars, because pretty much everybody in this show can only be women that do anything good. The only good dude in here is a villain, so pretty much it's just all about the women in the show. Also, for this episode, nothing really happens. I hate to tell you this, but it's been a snooze fest. The only thing that's actually interesting that happens is we get to see a bit of the Clone Wars, and Ahsoka's fight with Anakin, and we get to see some whales. That's pretty much it. Otherwise, this entire episode is a waste of time. Don't believe me? Let's go through it a little bit. But there's a little bit right here in the beginning. We have a Hera patrolling the area, trying to see if there's any bad guys. Why? You just saw him jump away. It's no sense why you're searching for anything. Her son that she brought along. Why did you bring your son? It's completely idiotic. You should not have brought your son along. It's dumb. Yes, he becomes a plot device later on, but still, why would you endanger your kid in a war zone that you're going into? Anyways, they search around. They find the robot close by. Hera. He tells Hera and Jason that Sabine and Ahsoka needed to stay together. They didn't. Oh well, too bad. So sad. This is what the result is. If they had, we wouldn't be in this mess. But anyways, we go back to the stream sequence. Are they in the realm between realms? Are they not? It's so weird and confusing. Like, what is this place? Because there's no gates like we saw in Rebels, but some kind of force area. It's just a mess. Anyways, Ahsoka's there talking to Anakin. He's there to finish her training. Apparently, her last lesson, the most crucial lesson she needs to learn, is to live or to die. Really? That's your last lesson? That's the last thing you want to teach your pupil, the one that left you, the one that feels guilty of leaving you. That's the last thing you want to teach her, is to fight on and live or give up and die. Okay, I guess. I mean, not the lesson I would choose. Like, maybe grow your connection to the Force, become more one, learn a new Force skill so you can track where Sabine is or get to that next galaxy. Maybe something like that would be useful. No, it's just to live or to die. Okay, fine, whatever. But in order to do this, he starts fighting with her. They have a little contact back and forth. Next dumb area that comes up is Jason has his mom come over, tells her he hears something, she doesn't hear anything. He tells her that he hears lightsabers fighting. Somehow he's using the Force to do this, and here's another thing. Everyone has the Force now, because if Sabine didn't sell it to you that she might have the Force even though she has no powers or connection to it, nothing was shown in Rebels, well, this is going to sell it to you now. Hera can hear it as well. Even though she has no connection to that Force realm, nothing's been shown in that last episode. In that last series with the Rebels, nothing's been indicated that she has these abilities, but now she can. All you have to do is listen really hard, and you can access the Force. We also had a explanation of how Jason can do this with the robot telling the pilot that, oh, Jason's father was a Jedi. So those who didn't see Rebels now know that Jason has Force powers. It doesn't really matter. We come back here. Ahsoka and Anakin are still fighting. She tells him that she knows all his tricks. He tells her that she doesn't, slices off the path, and she falls into here down to the Clone Wars. Now, I am going to fan out a little bit here. This is the Clone Wars, so my favorite stuff. I was a big fan of the first cartoon Clone Wars, and I'm also a big fan of the Clone Wars TV show that came on later on. Just look at this man. Look at that armor. It's nice to see it on live action television once again. So I'm pretty happy about that. Here we have Ahsoka as a teenager going through everything. Not really important here. She goes, talks, and comforts some soldiers. Yeah, it doesn't really matter all that much. Anakin telling her pretty much this is the cost of war. They gotta fight. Her complaining that she wanted to be a peacekeeper. Him just telling her you gotta adapt and change with things and got to learn how to survive. And she says, well, if I just walk away, then you'll die. So nothing really all that great happens here. We have one good scene, the troops going into war, but nothing all that much. They keep hovering, keep flying around. They talk about Ahsoka's master, Anakin. Nothing really too much happens here except for the robot says he's intense. Nice lat gunship here. I love that scene right there. So I'm going to give them props for that. This is the Siege of Mandalore. Nothing too much is happening here. We have Ahsoka saying that if she keeps on fighting, she might end up like him, Darth Vader. And, I guess, maybe. I just don't really care that much. That's my issue here. Like, the dialogue does not connect me with these characters well at all. So she ends up fighting with him again, and him forcing her to choose whether to fight for her life or to give it up. The fight continues here. It goes back and forth until it gets to this point right here where she has to decide if she's going to kill him or not. Well, she chooses the Jedi way. She doesn't kill him and tells him that she's going to keep living on. At this point, I guess she succeeded. I kind of wish she would have failed, kind of mirror what happened to Luke when he was tested and he failed his trial. Kind of would have preferred that, but she is woman. She is strong, so she will pass her trial. So good on you, Ahsoka. I'm railing against the show just because it's so boring. It's so dull. There's nothing interesting that happened in this at all. Like, if it was some new ability that she had to unlock to get to Sabine and all that, maybe, but all she's really here for is to whether you need to live or just die from depression. That's kind of all I'm getting here. Like, could have been so much more in this episode. But after that little pep talk, he goes back to normal, and he leaves her, and she wakes up here in the water. After that, she recovers after a day, and they're coming back around out to the ship. Look, she's smiling in this scene right there. We've only seen this once in the last episode, and now we see it moving forward that she has her old mojo back. So I guess it unlocked her happy self. All it takes is just one good dream, everybody. One good dream, and you'll be able to defeat your depression and be okay again and smile more often then. Your stoicism will be all gone. I guess that's the message here. I don't know. It's just kind of annoying. We then move forward past here. She meets up with Jason, and they're talking with Hera and all of them. It's okay. Ahsoka gets a bit of an idea of what happens to Sabine from the medal she's holding here, that apparently Baylan took Sabine with them when they left the system. So that's that. Pretty much what everyone was suspecting when they got to that planet, but now she confirmed it for them. Ahsoka is off staring at some clouds after this. Hera's being called back into the ship because the Chancellor wants to talk to her about something. While she's watching the whales, I guess we're not done with them because they're going to use these darn things to fly to the next galaxy, even though they have no reason to believe that these things will take them to where Sabine and Baylan are. Even if they do go to that galaxy, none of the flight paths have been mapped out in that galaxy. How are you going to hyperspace jump to where they are? You're just hoping. You're hoping to God they take you to the right place. But I guess they are going to go with that plan because that's pretty much what they do. Anyways, at the same time, Hera's apparently going to be losing her position as general unless she brings Ahsoka with her to Coruscant to stand up for her and everything that has been going on. Because apparently a large amount of time has happened. Because if you've been watching the show, pretty much at most I can say 2 days have passed. That's the only time frame. Because has it been a week? Has it been a couple days? We don't know because it all feels like it's happened within 2 days. If you binge watch this show after everything's been released, you'll think, oh, that's weird. Why are you court-martialing her right away? Like, shouldn't this be something that's deliberated, discussed? Like, she was still the general and seen in pretty good standing just in the last episode. Yes, she did call out one of the senators for being a coward and opportunist. Fine, fair, whatever. But still, like, there's no sense of time. There's no sense of urgency. There's no sense of, like, realism to the show. It all is compressed within 2 days, it feels like. That's my issue. But, so, she's being called back to Coruscant with Ahsoka to defend Hera's reputation for believing that Thrawn is going to be coming back and causing issues. So, I guess we have that. Anyways, they tell the Chancellor that they're not going to do that or something like that. They fly off. Here they are around the space whales. Ahsoka goes out to go commune with them. The fleet shows up to escort Hera back. The pilot comes out to meet the crew of all women. Can't have a dude in charge of this. The last time we had a dude in charge of one of these ships, he let 2 Sith approach his vessel, board it, and get his ship slaughtered. So we can't have men anymore. No, men make stupid mistakes. So that's pretty much what I'm getting from this scene. Anyways, they're talking about it. This guy's trying to stall. She's not buying it. So he tells her of the brilliant plan, the genius plan, that they're going to go talk with some whales and then use the whales to go find Sabine and Morgan and Balin. Yeah, uh, that's gonna work real well for you. But hey, for the plot, it will work. We will get to our destination in the next episode, and we won't have any problems. Right, right. Out here, she's raising up the hand. I commune with you. You will take us to where Sabine, Morgan, and Balin are, even though I have no idea where that is. But still, you're magically going to take us there. Because space whales. But they take them, they eat them. It's pretty much like Pinocchio or the story of Noah. They're just going to take them into them and fly across the stars with them. Next dumb part is that all of a sudden these ships decide to start moving when they see this herd of whales coming at them. If you see a bunch of animals flying towards you, the last thing you want to do is start weaving into their paths to cause them damage or harm. They see you. They will go around you. They're not that dumb. At least I hope they aren't, because if they are, it's going to be a one-way ticket into the sun. But so they just let them flow on by as they try to steer into them, which is a dumb reason. And Ashoka and all of them are inside the whale, and then it jumps. And that's pretty much the end of this episode. As I said, it's literally a waste of time. The only thing interesting that happened is that we had a train sequence between Ahsoka and Anakin. We got to see the Clone Wars a little bit, which is cool. I liked it, fan, but really doesn't do too much. The other thing that happened in this episode was that space whales apparently can eat ships if they're big enough and transport you across the universe. That's pretty much it. Oh, and Harris being court-martialed for no real reason because of stuff. She might have said that might have hurt some of the guy's feelings, I guess. And there's no real sense of time in Star Wars. So that's my review of this. Sorry if it was pretty quick. There's just nothing really here that's that interesting. Honestly, like, I can go read a book and get more excitement out of that. Like, this, this is just a waste of time. So, She Wars is here, everybody. She Wars is permanently here. There's nothing even all that interesting. It was the MCU. Now I dub this She Wars. So, thank you for watching, everybody. Hope you enjoyed the video. I hope I was more entertaining than this boring show. And if you have any comments on how I can improve these videos, or you like the video, please leave a like and let me know. Take care, y'all. You have a good night. Bye.